Once again, here we are.
Back again for Bette and Joan.
Bette and Joan.
Our third Bette and Joan, our annual Bette and Joan
What did
night.
we do? This is our third year doing Creepy Cinema together in October. What did we do the first year?
The first year we did Baby Jane and Straight Jacket, which are two of my favorites.
Yeah.
I loved Joan and her jingly bracelets and the way she lights that match off the record player and stops it. Oh, it's brilliant. And last year we did Dead Ringer and we did Possessed.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, and this year we've got A Woman's Face and Hush Hush Sweet Charlotte.
Yeah, A Woman's Face with Joan Crawford from MGM in 1941. Up first, when did you develop this gift for impersonations?
I think as a kid, my first impersonation, I used to do like Ernestine as Lily Tomlin, the operator, and Edith Ann, and Julia Child was my very first impression.
You still do?
Yes, I do. I do, Julia Child. You should come over. I'll bake you a lovely beef bourguignon. Perhaps a creme brulee for dessert if you like vanilla. I could also put chocolate in it if you'd like.
And then when did you start doing Bette?
I remember the first time I did it for my sister Camille. We were at the washing machine downstairs in the basement, and I just...
Oh, so you were at home. You're living at home.
Yeah, and I just kind of went, I'd love to kiss you, but I just washed my hair. I was doing the early ones where she was in Dark Victory, and come quickly, they want to operate on my head. So
even though the thing you go into quickly is sort of the later life post-stroke Bette Davis.
Well, of course, Mr. Mankiewicz, we are doing an evening about me. And Miss Crawford, I am totally and utterly insulted that you are opening the evening with a Crawford picture when it should have been mine.
Don't you? Well, this is an MGM picture. Surely you understand that Joan Crawford had some talent.
Yes, well, she was a star. She wasn't of the theater.
No.
The way I came from the theater. And that is important training for every actress. Absolutely truthful. Miss Crawford was very difficult. She was a pro. She knew her lines. She hit her mark. But, of course, she had to look pretty. She was a vain woman. She had a different pair of breaths on every day during Jane. It was like bumping into the damn Hollywood Hills.
I find Joan Crawford at her most beautiful in this picture we're about to see.
Let me say this as myself. Joan Crawford is so beautiful in this movie.
Really.
1941, 42, for that period, and she's kind of dressed down. It's not a glamorous role. She's absolutely beautiful in this. And, by the way, it is my favorite performance of hers. It's so vulnerable. You know, she always said, vulnerability, you must feel. An actress must feel. If you don't feel, then you're not a true actress. Vulnerability. She said that word a lot. But
yeah, a third of the picture here in A Woman's Face, her half of her face is scarred by burns. Yeah.
Then when they fix it and you see her, it's like, I have never seen her more beautiful. This is directed by George Cukor, a fellow gay man, kind of openly gay back then. What a guy. Brilliant man.
Does that
Loved
suggest
working
that you
with
were
women.
like sort of in the closet? Is that what that's
Yes,
saying?
I am. I've been in the closet since.
Man, what's it going to be like
Come
when
on.
you come out?
I came out when I came out of the womb. I really did.
Let me ask, was it obvious to your folks, or was there a moment where you actually came out to your parents?
Oh boy, this is like a therapy session. I'll tell you, my mother, who died when I was 21, did not like the fact that I was gay. So that's why I'm a mess, basically, and that's why I do what I do. But yeah, she wasn't happy about it, but I never said it to her. My dad, he knew, and he was very kind of cool about it. He didn't want it, shoved in his face, but he was a Sicilian guy, But my mother didn't want me to go into the business either. I was like, you don't think I'm good enough? She goes, I think you're very talented, but it's a lousy business. Because she used to sing on the radio in Boston when she was young. And she saw how my sister struggled in this business, and it was tough.
Was your mother good? Was she a good singer?
She was a good singer, yeah. She was a very good singer, and my sister was a really good singer. She played all the old clubs in New York, Reno Sweeney's, Grand Finale. She took me to my first Broadway show, Pippin, with Ben Vereen. I'll never forget it. Bob Fosse, those hands came up, and my head blew off. I was like, what is this? Yeah, so,
But enough about you.
Yeah, enough about me. Why? This is about Joan Crawford. You're cutting into her time. Miss Crawford wouldn't like that.
That was my salute to Bette Davis. Was cutting into Joan Crawford's time.
Well, you really did a good job. Oh, yes, Mr. Mankiewicz. Your great uncle was told not to hire me for Eve. They said she will run around with a legal pad changing all your lines, and I did not, because you didn't have to, because of the way it was written. That screenplay holds up the way Joan Crawford's face did not.
So, it's lovely. It ends. She's going to marry Melvyn Douglas.
Of course she is.
Yeah, all is well.
He's so warm and loving in this. And, you know, as serious as Joan is in this movie, there's just crazy comedy going on around her.
It's very funny.
You know, Marjorie Main and...
Marjorie Main, like at the end of the movie, you know, she kept the letter, right?
Yes.
She's like, you can fire me, but you can't be mad at me. I had a right to do it. And then, because she stole the letter.
And she didn't read it.
And then they're like, did you read the letter? She goes, I don't read other people's mail.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
That's too far.
Because she assumed it was a love letter. And that little boy, I happen to love that little boy. I think he's terrific. I think
Richard
he's fun.
Nichols played Lars Eric.
He's very good. He's very of the time. And Conrad Veidt is just twirling his mustache through that whole movie. There's no subtlety to him at all.
I'm just curious whether people then knew as clearly as you do now. As soon as you see Conrad Veidt in that first scene at the dinner, you're like, well, he's evil.
Oh, he's
right. Because it's Conrad Veidt. Right?
And she thinks that she loves him.
That's definitely thinks
because
she loves
they're
him.
of the same mindset of scamming people. But then it turns to him wanting her to murder that kid and getting her this job as a governess. You know, I picked this movie when I was here in 2005
with Robert Osborne?
The great Robert Osborne. This was one of my films. And so I love this movie. I think it's my favorite Joan Crawford movie of her younger years.
Yeah, so I just think somehow it's only 6 years like between the women and Mildred Pierce, but where this fits right in the middle. But I mean, for all the talk about Joan Crawford in the 20s and early 30s as this beautiful starlet at MGM, I don't see it in the way I see it here, where I just think, oh my goodness.
I agree.
Yeah.
I completely, because when she was a flapper in like the 30s, she's her legs are a little, she was not the greatest dancer. You know, Dad, do you ever see her in Torch Song?
Yes.
We got to show that one time. That's my favorite. Gene, you're the dance director. Would you be good enough to tell Mr. Ellis this is a rehearsal, not a dancing school? We've had the sorry bit. What do we do? I could do that whole first scene. But anyway, that's that picture. And it's not creepy, even though it is. We should show it next year.
Yeah, we can make it. They can make that work. It's creepy enough.
But this is truly not a horror film, but it is creepy and it's weird and it's noir and it's dark and it's very, very Eastern European too. It's very kind of Eastern European.
Yeah, but all her little sort of, her band of con men, her band of thieves around her, they add this light touch to what obviously would be, it's a movie about killing a child.
Yeah.
Early in the movie, there's that moment where somebody, I think it's her, she says, do you love children? And Conrad Veidt goes, I loathe
children.
Yeah,
She sounded just like me.
Yeah.
Because although I love your kid.
No, she loves you.
No, Josie. Yeah, I'm glad we showed this movie because I think it's beautifully done. And George Cukor did a gorgeous job. He was so good with women. He loved working with women. He knew how to soothe them too.
Yeah, it's also said about my great uncle Joe Mankiewicz too, like really an understanding of how to direct women.
He was unbelievable, Mr. Mankiewicz.
All right, Mario, that was Joan. Coming up next is Bette.
Yes, I'm next. I do not ever follow Joan Crawford, but in this case for you, since I loved your great uncle Joseph Mankiewicz, I will do it. I bow down to you because you are Hollywood royalty, which they said about Joan Crawford right before she was fired from MGM.
Thank you.
We have our second film of the night.
This is
Bette Davis, our third annual Bette and Joan night. Very excited.
Very different films here. We had Joan at the heyday of MGM in 1941, when she was still a big star there, in A Woman's Face. This is late career Bette.
This is Hush, hush, sweet Charlotte, don't you cry. I had to sing it because why? It's the theater. This movie in particular is interesting because Joan Crawford was originally slated.
This was the follow-up to Baby Jane.
Yes, it was. They wanted to do another picture with them. Robert Aldrich directed this too, and they
started.
She did a couple of weeks of filming, and then she said she had an upper respiratory ailment. She went to the hospital. Aldrich hired a private investigator to see if it was true, because her and Bette, of course, everyone knows,
we did not get along at all. We really didn't. She was a professional, but we didn't like working together at all. I didn't really like who she was as a person. We were very different actresses.
But, so there was that tension, and, they're back again to do this, to follow up, because it was such a great pairing, and then it didn't work out. So the insurance company was like, the studio was like, you got to go. So they got rid of her, which makes me very sad because I love Joan Crawford.
But my memory of that was that Joan also wanted to go, right? I mean, it wasn't just that they got rid of her.
And then there's the other side that, Bette
forced her out.
Forced her out. Well, you know, because
one of them couldn't bear the thought of, they thought they could do another picture together, and then a couple weeks in, you're like, I can't do this.
Well, you know, Joan Crawford campaigned against me for my Oscar for Baby Jane, which I was robbed of. She went to every actress in New York saying, if you can't be there, I will accept it for you. And there she was, clutching the Oscar to her bosom as if it were hers.
That was Anne Bancroft.
that was Anne Bancroft, who supposedly, according to Davis, she said, 1 year later, she traveled with the Oscar and said, I will bathe it in all the waters of the world. And then 1 year later, she gave it to Miss Bancroft backstage after a performance of Mother Courage. Yeah, supposedly that happened. I don't know if that's true or not.
Wait, Joan Crawford kept the Oscar for you?
Supposedly, that's what she said. Now, according to Davis, I don't know if that's true or not. She said that on Johnny Carson. But, but so Joan was supposed to do this film. So then she was fired, and they
brought in Olivia.
and Davis was like, bring Livy in. We did In This Our Life together. She is marvelous. They really liked each other.
But In This Our Life is 20 plus years earlier.
Absolutely.
Right.
But they were friends for a long time.
That's a John Huston picture.
Yes, it is. And it's a good movie, too. I like that movie. Anyway, you can compare it to Baby Jane, of course. They're similar in a way, but Betty's character is very
She's less
different in
garish.
this.
Much
Definitely.
less
The
garish. She's still a
makeup is
little
good.
garish, but
Well,
she's less.
Those
less
braids,
so.
you could do pull-ups on them.
The beginning part of this movie set in 1927, then it picks up 37 years later. There's some good drama there in that 1927 part.
Oh, Victor Buono.
Victor Buono,
You'll see him.
Bruce
Stern,
Stern
a
has
young Bruce Stern.
has an important role.
Oh, yes, he does. It's a good setup, and the way it moves along. And it's, it's not a short movie, but it's tight. It moves along really well. You're never bored. I watched it again and went, this is really a good movie. And Agnes Moorehead is just
I was going to say, there's some supporting actors
great.
to note as well who are in the back part of the film. Cecil Kellaway is critical to its success. Joe Cotton and Agnes Moorehead as Velma.
And Mary Astor.
And Mary
It was
Astor,
her first film in a long time, right?
Yeah, Mary Astor. Agnes Moorehead, Oscar nomination, and
she won the Golden Globe.
Yeah.
So yeah, she's wonderful in this. What a range she had. This character's just
no, this is nothing like you.
Nothing like anything she's ever done.
Yeah, you think you know Agnes Moorehead from either Citizen Kane or Bewitched.
Oh,
this is entirely different.
Entirely different.
Yeah. Is she being taken away by the police there, or is it just because the house is going away?
No, she's finally given up the house, and
But she got away with the murder.
She got away with the murder. She should get away with the murder.
I got no beef in a just world. She should get away with the murder.
Yeah, no one saw her push that big Gothic cement.
we just
who knows? It's a decrepit old house that could have been a crack in the banister, and the thing just fell right on Joe Cotton and Olivia Hatton.
Poor Livy, I never wanted to kill her.
But she relinquishes over the house, and she's resilient at the beginning. She's got that gun and those braids.
Get off of my property!
I love her accent.
Taking a shot at George Kennedy.
Oh,
yeah.
They set her up. They give her drugs. They're terrible to her. Olivia de Havilland, she doesn't love this movie, by the way, but she enjoyed doing it, and she did it for Bette Davis because they were such good friends. She's excellent. The good one.
She's not just excellent in it. Her sort of normalcy, even though she's a psychotic killer, her normalcy in it grounds the picture. Joe Cotton's over the top, right?
Yes, he is.
In an enjoyable way. Betty obviously is over the top. Agnes Moorehead is well over the top. She grounds it. Olivia.
She does.
So I think she is critical to the film's success.
And she does everything through that smile, you know. Oh, Charlotte, all that,
That's why when that moment when you realize, because you're looking at Agnes Moorehead and she's like, I got this and I'm going to run and tell everybody in town. You're like, don't tell them that you're going to do that, and certainly don't tell them you're going to do that when you're at the top of the stairs.
And then,
but that's the first moment that you understand fully that Olivia is truly evil. Like the way then she changes because she's been sort of doing everything with that smile, and then instantly it turns to menace. And she doesn't just push her down the stairs; she hits her with a table.
Yeah. And she, from the beginning, you find out she came back for that. She came back to get her out of that house and make her crazy and get that money because she's the poor cousin.
And she'd been sending the letters, so I mean, it was a 37-year con.
I know.
Yeah,
that's a long time.
It's a long time, and then to lose it just from loose, careless talk, she's upstairs.
I just look at it like they thought she was drugged out. They had shot her up.
No
but
question,
she was resilient to the drugs.
She was.
She kept coming back.
Yep.
But they drove her nuts.
Yeah, it may be that Joe Cotton's not a great doctor. Yeah,
the fact that he was a doctor was such a perfect part of her plot.
Yep.
That, you know, that
Also,
she
just
loved
the
him.
sexism but just because he knew the truth about Velma, that he keeps saying that I'm the CEO, I'm the chief of this plot.
Yeah.
And then she explains, like, no, actually, I've been working this for 37
Yeah,
years, and then he's like,
Yeah,
okay, yeah, you got it.
She's the top in that relationship.
Yeah, that's right.
She's like the alpha.
She's the crime boss.
She
Yeah, that's right.
definitely is. I love this movie. I'm glad we got to show it. It's a good one. It's a good one.
Mario, thanks very much. Next week, Anthony Hopkins and Anne Margaret in Magic, and Tommy Lee Jones and Faye Dunaway.
Faye Dunaway.
The Eyes of Laura Mars.
Betty Davis will be talking about Faye Dunaway,
Oh,
I'm
it'll
sure.
be good to see Betty again next week.
Yes, we will. Hush, hush, sweet Ben.
Thank you.
But what's better? It's not what's a better movie, Baby Jane or Hush, Hush, Sweet Charlotte. What's the better theme song? Whatever happened to Baby Jane? Remember she sang that on a talk show. You know, she never sang Hush, Hush, Sweet Charlotte. She didn't make a return.
Are you done?
I'm done.
Okay. See you next week.